Hey y'all, and thanks so much for clicking on this video. I'm going to try to give you a very quick update with what's been going on with our homeschool. Today is Friday and we've just wrapped up the 5th week of our first term. If you don't recall, in a previous video I said our terms are 6 weeks long and we take 1 week off. So we're at the end of our 5th week term, and I'm going to just give a brief update of how we've been doing and how I've been liking the things that I picked out and selected from the video where I talked about our curriculum. And I'll just go in order, starting with my son. So he's 4 years old, he's a preschooler, and first thing I want to say is we don't do something organized every day, but he's learning every day, and that's just because he can't not learn. He's always picking up stuff just from conversation, or if he watches something or plays a game, it's just impossible for him not to learn. So for the preschool homeschoolers out there, I would say don't put so much pressure on yourself. When they show an interest in something, go with it. When he mentions a color, a lot of times I'll ask him, what does this color and this color mixed together make? And it could be just that simple. It doesn't have to be something where we sit down and focus on learning something that particular day. So for him, everything that I picked out for him, we're just kind of going with it when the mood strikes, and when it happens naturally. I don't always sit him down and say, let's do something. Occasionally, if I need him to just be occupied with something, I'll say, hey, can you do that puzzle for me while I'm over here? Or something like that. But I take it's very, very informal with my son. The main thing with him is just reading. I taught my kids to read just by reading some of their favorites over and over and over. And as I read, I'll leave out a word and have them fill in the word, because they've heard the story so much they can usually do it. So one of his favorites right now is green eggs and ham, and he's doing great. We're starting to practice what it looks like to spell out a word. So for example, if we have read, I do not like them with a mouse, I will leave out the word mouse. Or I'll say, I do not like them with a mouse. I'll say the word, but then I'll ask him to spell it. And I'll, point at each letter as he's saying it. And then we'll say it like real nice and slow so he can get the, what is it called? I just went blank. The phonetics, right? How you pronounce each letter, whatever that's called. Okay, moving on to my 3rd grader. She is doing fine. She's my reluctant learner. She prefers to just tell you what she knows rather than show you what she knows. So she's, if I give her a workbook or a worksheet, she's kind of about it. But if it's online, if it's something that she can just click on the answer, then she does so much better with that. She prefers that. She prefers to do some digital learning, so she's great with typing. She's wonderful with coding and games like Minecraft and things like that. So that's what she prefers. And art, anything that she can do to create something she loves. So she's doing fine. When it does, like I said, when I need her to do something on a worksheet though, I do have to push her a little bit more and just say, okay, come on, I know we want to do this online, but I need you to show it to me on a work page as well, just for me. She's like, fine, I'll do it for you. But I try not to make that the majority of what we do. We don't test very often, but when we do, that's usually when I'm just like, just do this and you can be done and get back to what you want to do. So she's doing well though. With her, our main focus is, for math, it's PEMDAS, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. That's what we're focusing on. Punctuation, parts of speech, penmanship. So that's like everything started with a P. I love alliteration. So if you have a child within this, I would say 2nd to 5th or 3rd to 5th grade range, those would be my 4 areas of focus: is PEMDAS, punctuation, parts of speech and spelling, and penmanship. And then just move on. And just let them let their natural curiosity take over after that. For my 6th grader, she is such a motivated learner. I cannot keep up with her. So I will ask her to do something, or I'll give her, I actually plan I plan our weeks on Saturday. So whatever Saturday is coming up, I can't talk today. I'm not going to edit this either. So whatever's coming up, like the week ahead, I do it on the Saturday before. And so she knows what we're doing that whole week. And sometimes she'll just look at it and say, can I just do all my schoolwork Monday through Wednesday and have Thursday and Friday off? And I'm like, sure, because I'm not going to plan more for you. So she does what I ask her to do, and then she'll go on and do additional things. And for that reason, I highly recommend these books because, and I have a video where I go through I do a flip through of these. These are everything for this semester, for this school year, because when I'm having to do something else or be with another kid, she will grab one of these and just go on her own and just read on her own. And it has been worth its weight in gold because she enjoys picking up these books. She'll pick up, mostly I see her with the science and the computer science and coding, but we've also used it for math. This past week she was learning absolute value, and I was working with my third grader at the time. And so after she had watched the video from the Argo brothers, the video explanation, she also read the chapter on absolute value from this math book and basically taught herself absolute value before I had a chance to get back and work with her. But of course I then made sure she actually understood it and reinforced it. But highly recommend those books. In addition, there were some books that I didn't mention from the curriculum video. This is how I teach my kids foreign language. We have different language dictionaries. We have French and Spanish primarily. This is one of the dictionaries that I have. And basically, I just teach them to say things they already say. So if your kid says something often like good morning, good afternoon, good night, please, thank you, may I have this, where is that, mom, have you seen my whatever? We teach that in another language. That's to me, the best way to teach them is to just teach them things they already say. So if they know it, then I might just say en español, por favor, and they'll say that same thing that they just asked me in Spanish. Okay, the next thing, I didn't mention this, I don't think I did, but a dictionary and a thesaurus. Having both of these helps to increase their understanding of language and spelling. And my third grader is at the point where she's like, what does that word mean? And I'll just say, well, let's look it up. And oh, another thing I wanted to say, and this is extremely helpful. I hope this will be extremely helpful to anyone who's new to homeschooling. But the best thing I think you can do for your kid is if you don't know something, tell them you don't know and then help them find the answer. Basically, you're showing them that it's okay, you can be a functional adult and not know everything. And oh, by the way, let me teach you how to find the answer to things you don't know. So do not ever feel like you don't have to know it all. I remember I got someone asked me, what am I gonna do when it's time to teach my kid trigonometry? And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna buy a curriculum that teaches trigonometry, and then we're gonna figure out trigonometry. I mean, I'm actually pretty good at math, but if there's something I don't know, like for me, it's history. And my kids know, like there is no secret in this house that I don't know it very well. I can name some dates and I know the gist of things, but I don't know it and they know that I don't. So when it's time to learn something, I'm learning it alongside them, and I'll say, wow, wasn't that interesting? I didn't know that. Or I'll say, you know, what did you learn from this? And then they'll ask me, what did I learn? And it's a conversation rather than just me kind of lording it over them. Like, you should know this. You must know this to be an adult. No. So yeah, tell your kids you don't know something and then show them how to figure it out. I think if you teach someone how to learn, that's way more valuable than just teaching them a fact for like a test. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was money management, how I teach my kids about money. Now we have this book, which is kind of the dry version of teaching money, and there's nothing wrong with this book at all. That's why I keep it in our little library. It definitely gives you kind of the official version of how money works. But we do Money Management Week for each of our terms. It's always the last week of the term. So this week coming up is our 6th week. This is also our Money Management Week. And so when we go into our week off, they've got a little pocket money. I don't do allowance because we just clean the house. Like you just will clean up after yourself in this house. You will not be paid to clean up after yourself. I just don't do allowance, but money management week is how they get their spending money. And so what we do is we start off with $100, and only really my daughters participate. My son is 4, but he likes to be involved. So they get $100 of play money, and I have actual play currency up on our shelf. And throughout the week, there are things that they can purchase. Now I'm gonna click on my price list and look over here because I don't have this memorized. So I came up with prices. Their meals, for example, breakfast is $2, lunch is $3, dinner is $4, for a total of, what is that, $9 a day? And they prepay for that for 5 days of the week. We only do this Monday through Friday. So right off the bat, they have to pay $45 for their meals. I don't charge them rent, but I guess if you wanted to incorporate that in your money management week, which I'm considering, you could add rent in there and have them pay rent and groceries up front. So that's basically what the meals is. So right off the bat, I give them $100, but they have to pay for their meals. They're not allowed to skip meals to save money because I need them to know, as an adult, you need to factor in food. We're not raising kids that are gonna be on ramen noodles and hot dogs. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we want them to understand when you go get a job and you're only thinking about rent, you need to also consider food. Okay, so then the next thing I have on here is snacks. That's $1 each, and there's a limit of 2 per day because I'm still the mom. We're not eating us out of house and home. Candy is 50 cents, but there's a limit, 2 per day. Treats, which would be something like cake, or if I've baked something extra that week and they want that, which is a little bit more rich, like banana pudding or something, that's $1.75, and they can only have 1 per day. So, and then what else do I have on here? Entertainment I have, so they can have 60 minutes of TV for $1.50, 60 minutes of tablet time for $2, 60 minutes on the iPad is $2, 60 minutes of video games is $1, or they can purchase an unlimited entertainment package for $15, and that's for the week, as long as they've met all of their daily duties and responsibilities, so like schoolwork and their normal chores. Then you have unlimited access if you purchase the package deal. If they want me to schedule a play date with someone during the week, that's $15, but they could split the cost amongst the 3 of them, so they could have like $5 each for a play date. They've never purchased a play date because they like to keep their money. I also have on here printing. If they need something printed, then it's 10 cents a page. If they want me to do their laundry, it's $5. If they want me to clean their room, it's $10. And then we also have fines. So if they've misbehaved and they're, done something that goes against our rules, they can be fined during money management week. And so, and another thing we're adding, this is gonna be for the first time this coming week, are investments. We've made it to where if they invest a certain amount of money on Monday, then they will earn 10% of that if they leave it in for the whole week. So let's say after they've paid for their meals for $45, they want to put $10 in an investment account and not touch it for the week, they'll earn an extra $1 by the end of the week. And then if they wait later in the week, they earn less interest on that money. And then another thing I've added is additional income. So basically they have the opportunity to have a side hustle during money management week. So if let's say they have spent a lot of their money, but they still want to earn some money before the end of the week, if they do a job for me that I think that like they can basically make a deal with me, and if they do that job well, I'll pay them for it just like I would pay anyone else that does a job for me. So they have that opportunity to think up goods or services that they think I might want to buy. And like if they want to sell me something, or like I said, do a service for me, we'll come up with a price. They'll name a price. I might say, nah, that's too high, or I don't know. And they will determine their worth or whatever for that service or what they're selling. And if I buy it, they have an opportunity to make additional money. So all of that I keep on a spreadsheet, and I keep track of their money. And by the end of the week, whatever they have in real dollars, after we factored in things they've purchased, investments, additional income, and fines, whatever they have in real dollars, they get it in cash money. And so what that ends up looking like is usually around $35, $40 by the end of the week. And we're doing this again once every 6 weeks. So it's not like they get this all the time, but that's the money they have for the next 6 weeks. And so if during the week off, they spend it all on toys and candy, all right, you have no more money. Don't ask me for things when we go to the store. Don't ask me to take you places. Like, don't, if I choose to, then that's on me, but don't say to me, I want Chick-fil-A, and I'll say, where's your money? Like, I don't have any. I was like, well, sounds like you're not getting Chick-fil-A today. So that is, I think, that for us has been the best way to really teach money, because it's one thing to know the value in terms of like how much is a quarter worth, how much is a dime worth, and to actually see in practice how it's used. So I hope that was helpful. I know I did get a couple of questions asking me to further explain our money management week. If there's still questions, just leave them in the comments for me. I do try to respond to comments as quickly as possible, but to be honest, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not an influencer, so I'm not checking this all the time. I look at it occasionally. My cousin tells me all the time I should look at it more and do more, but I'm living life. If I have spare time, I'm usually reading or just spending time with my family, doing my own thing. So again, if you have questions, leave them below. I'll try to answer them. If not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next update. Bye.